My reflection on today's August 11th, 2024, Gospel as a Christian. In the Gospel passage from John 6:41 to 51, I see Jesus making a profound declaration about his identity and purpose. When he calls himself the bread of life, it strikes me as a powerful metaphor for the spiritual nourishment he offers. The people around him struggled to accept this because they knew him as the son of Joseph and Mary. They couldn't reconcile that with his claim of coming down from heaven. This reveals how their lack of faith clouded their understanding of who Jesus truly was. What resonates with me in this passage is Jesus' explanation that belief in him is a work of God. It's not something we can achieve on our own. It's a response to God's initiative. Jesus says he is the living bread, meaning that he provides spiritual sustenance that leads to eternal life, which is far more significant than any physical or temporary satisfaction we might seek in the world. In our lives today, this challenges us to look beyond material things, money, status, and even relationships that only offer temporary fulfillment. Just as physical bread nourishes the body, Jesus offers something much deeper, spiritual nourishment that truly satisfies our need for meaning and purpose. This passage encourages me to prioritize my spiritual life and to seek fulfillment in Jesus, rather than in the fleeting things of this world. I also find it important that Jesus mentions how no one can come to him unless the Father draws them. In a world where doubt and skepticism are common, this reminds me that faith is not just a personal endeavor, but a response to God's grace. It prompts me to pray for openness to God's call and to trust in his guidance, knowing that he is at work in my life. Moreover, the promise of being raised on the last day shifts my focus from the temporary to the eternal. In a culture that often values instant gratification, this passage challenges me to live with an eternal perspective, making choices that reflect my hope in eternal life. It encourages me to invest in my spiritual growth and to live in a way that aligns with my identity as a follower of Christ. For those who participate in the Eucharist, this passage also deepens my appreciation for the sacrament. It reminds me of the profound mystery of Christ's presence in the Eucharist and calls me to approach it with reverence, recognizing it as a source of true and lasting life. In today's fast-paced and often secular society, this passage from John 6 is a reminder to seek deeper spiritual nourishment through faith in Jesus. It invites me to trust in God's work in my life, to live with an eternal perspective, and to draw closer to Christ as the true source of life. What is your personal interpretation and insights on today's gospel? Share in the comments.